I ask you, are you all right? And I ask you all right, not because I expect an answer, because I already know the answer. And if any of these sound like you already know too. In my first video, we looked at destroying your life. We used the worst idea. Then we looked at the biggest problems facing men. The warrior in decline. You used to be strong, now you're weak, soft and tired. You might be financially cornered. You're drowning in debt. The self-sabotaging genius. You're the guy that is smart as hell, but stuck. Big ideas, no action. Or you might be the overburdened provider. You were programmed to give everything, but forget yourself. Or the invisible man. No respect, no voice, no presence. Then there's the exiled king, the man who loses everything through betrayal or anything. And the man facing the abyss. You've lost everything and you're now right on the very edge, holding on by your fingertips. We'll come back to these. There was an interesting comment on my first video this morning, and I assume it's from one of our brothers in a third world country. And he said, dang, I thought this video was going to go hard, but instead it showed me how privileged you are to live in a first world country. I call this video First World Problems because you think anything he described is hard, then I'd hate to see what happens if you experience true hardship. Interesting comment. Hold that thought. I'm coming back to it. In 1998, I got T-boned on my motorbike. Bang! I was wrecked. Physically, emotionally, spiritually. I saw a specialist. I saw specialist after specialist. The best shoulder guy in the country. The pain was just immense after 6 weeks. Nothing they did worked. So I did the opposite. I thought, well, if this is what's giving me pain, then what's the fastest healing bone in the body? Okay, I thought it was the ribs, because they don't get a day off and they're always moving. So I thought, I'll just get moving. I went to the gym. I started with 1 kilo dumbbells, just movement, no ego, no noise. And at the end of week 1, I was already back to 20 kilo dumbbells. By week 2, I could do 40s. And by week 3, I was pain-free. There were no hacks in this, no magic, just me going in there and doing it. The protocol, it worked for me. No, by the way, that's not medical advice. Now, that commenter from a third world country, let's go back to him. He's right and he's wrong. He talks about hard lives in the third world and soft lives in the first. But hardship isn't always physical. It can be existential, it can be emotional, it can even be spiritual. In war zones or impoverished areas, survival overrides introspection. There's no time for a midlife crisis if you're already just trying to get water or avoid being shot. But in the first world, the psychological void can be just as destructive. People overdose and fall into nihilism, or they waste away in comfort, not from lack of resources, but from a lack of meaning. Third world, we have external chaos, but they have internal order because it's a necessity for survival. In the first world, we have external order, but internal chaos becomes the battleground. In hard environments, there's no luxury for blaming the system. Either you adapt or you die. It strips away the fluff, and there's a kind of harsh freedom in that. By contrast, the modern West offers safety nets. This often becomes an emotional crutch, allowing people to be in prolonged adolescence or victim loops. And there's a real danger of soft problems, not because it's soft in impact, because they're soft in origin. Sure, no bombs falling, you don't have to walk 10 miles to get water, but here's the truth. Comfort breeds rot. Soft surroundings, they create soft men, and soft men die standing still. And pain is relative, but resilience is universal. I'm frustrated with this, I'll be honest. There's a strange kind of romanticism of struggle that comes from developing worlds. But here's the kicker. Enduring bad conditions isn't the same as you transcending them. There's no virtue in staying broken or poor. If you're still hauling water barefoot in 2025 where you're scrolling on a cracked who are we, that's not grit, that's a failure to adapt. So let's get back to those first world problems. What's the common factor in those 7 problems that I spoke about earlier today? If you stand still, no one's coming to save you. If you think rock bottom, bang, you hit there and it's going to make you bounce and you're going to wake up, it won't. And your collapse isn't going to look like a movie. It'll look like you lying there, scrolling, aching, scrolling again, too exhausted to rise, too guilty to leave. Drowning men don't shout, they just sink silently, and that's how men die. You can't think your way out of a pit. You've got a choice. Either climb out or stay there. And right now we're at the line, the threshold, the eject button, the enough is enough moment. Something goes off in your head. You know the trap, I've showed you them. You know the pattern. So what did I do? What did those guys in third world countries do? What do they do in those war zones? They move. Moving gives you a chance. It doesn't guarantee survival, but those who survive and those who don't, there's a difference. Now you need something to hold you together until you're strong enough to hold yourself. And that vessel can't be gentle. It doesn't have to ask. It doesn't care about how you feel today. It just moves. That vessel has no soul. It has no need from you. It only knows one thing, forward. That vessel is the Juggernaut, and it's unstoppable by design. The Juggernaut Protocol, here it is. The first one, step 1, walk. Not fast, not flashy, just forward. 1 foot in front of the other, relentless. Step 2, train. Even if it's light, even if it hurts, make your body remember you were powerful. Step 3, repeat. No speeches, no hype, just rhythm in that motion. Just like it's the only thing that's going to keep you sane. Step 4, you're going to tighten everything. You're going to tighten your form, your focus. You're going to drop the dead weight, get rid of the fat, cut the noise. Step 5, you're going to become, you're not trying anymore. You are the work, you are the motion. This isn't physical, it's you grinding forward mentally, intellectually, spiritually, until the broken man you once was is unrecognisable. You've become the Juggernaut. Every goal you just grind down, every step you own. You move through life like it's already yours, it belongs to you. This is the part where most men click away. At this point, they flick onto another video, they go back to scrolling. But you're not most men. But are you the first man up? The one who moves while everybody else waits? So here's a ritual for you. Drop I move in the comments. Tell me, what's your first full step? What is your first step? However small, I don't care. Tell me what it is. And 3, begin today. No fanfare, no fireworks, just forward motion, because the Juggernaut doesn't wait. Now you survive this form and you evolve into what? You'll see. But first, survive. If you know a brother out there who's really struggling, share this with them. If they need it, we mustn't leave anyone behind. We've got to look around us and just stay cognizant to the people that are really struggling when we're not. Brothers, I hope you enjoyed this. Have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.